Happy Twin Tuesday!
Woo woo! How's it going?
Hello, welcome to Twin Tuesday. Who are we?
I'm Dr. Johanna.
I'm Dr. Madeline.
And we are awesome chiropractors.
We're awesome chiropractors in St. Petersburg, Florida at Atlas Chiropractic Center. Our jam is pregnant and postpartum mamas.
Yep.
But we see your whole family.
Yes, we do.
So there's a lot going on right now. Still, one of these days, we'll be able to talk about some other stuff. But in the meantime,
one day life will return back to normal, and I strive for that day.
if you are also excited for that day, or if you're just hopping on and you're hopping on live, drop some emojis down in the comment section so we know you're here. And then if you're catching the replay, comment replay down below so we make sure we don't miss you as well. We love all of y'all who tuned in.
Absolutely. So what are we chatting about today? What'd you throw up on that topic?
If you're our patient, or maybe you're not our patient and you follow us and you watch us, what are we telling you to do right now if you're in pain?
Yeah, so I've heard this a lot, and I've seen a couple of posts about being in pain on Facebook, Nextdoor, and just other people like kind of inquiring like what are their options because they don't feel safe going to the ER, and a lot of doctors aren't even actually seeing you. They are doing telehealth, which is amazing, so you don't even have to step foot outside of your house to get recommendations or what you need, but they're just, just wondering like, what can I do if I'm in pain?
Yeah. So we're just going to start off by telling you chiropractors are essential. So we've been deemed essential, I believe, across the entire United States, but definitely in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Which means we get to stay open and provide for our patients and new patients right now. And the other day, we have had people come in who have been in so much pain who haven't been patients before. Because we want to talk about like what their other options are, why we are considered essential, and why we are still there providing care for our patients. And then we can talk about kind of like our extra precautions we're taking right now as well.
And maybe let's just throw out some examples on like why they may be in pain, because like I would say that the people we have been seeing that are new coming in, like they have different stories. So we have people that are still getting into car accidents because people are still out driving. So that can cause pain, discomfort, and different injuries that chiropractic can absolutely help you with. A lot of people are still essential. They're still working, and that's either in the hospitals or in the grocery stores or all of the amazing essential businesses out there, and they're still repetitively lifting. They're moving. They're under a lot of stress, and that can cause aches and pains and discomforts to happen in the body. And I mean, just stress in general. And maybe now you're not working at your office, but you're still working from home, maybe on your couch and on your ottoman with your laptop instead of your nice desktop that's set up ergonomically, and that can wreck your spine and cause different discomfort.
Yeah, so I would say across the board, a lot of people, we have seen some flare-ups or discomfort or things pop up because people are in completely different postures when they're working at home. They're not at their normal ergonomic workstation. They are sitting in maybe their couches and with their laptops, and that will put a lot of stress on your spine. It can cause different things. Also, too, it's great that we're at home. We're spending more time with our families. I think that is a perk of everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we've seen some crazy stuff pop up because, you're playing with your kids a little bit differently than maybe you would have before, or a little bit more frequently, or people are exercising more, which is great. But maybe, you hadn't been exercising before. We've seen a couple of these, and maybe you just do a little too much too fast type of thing.
Yeah, and so people have been reaching out because they are experiencing different flare-ups, pains, and discomforts. And yes, because of that, we are absolutely essential and still open because chiropractic helps relieve pressure on the nervous system, which are your nerves, and they control everything in your body, especially how you feel. And when they get pinched and compressed, then that can cause different discomfort. So we are here to help.
Yeah, we're here to help. So let's say normal process, maybe you're hurting pretty bad, aches and pains. I would say some different scenarios that people go through is sometimes, especially with spinal pain or nerve pain, if you've never experienced it before, it is not fun.
Right.
And it's pretty painful, and that can be really scary if you've never experienced it before and you don't know what it is or how to pinpoint what it is.
Right.
So that can drive a lot of people to maybe an urgent care or the ER because the pain's so bad.
Right.
You don't know what it is. Typically, if you take something like an over-the-counter anti-inflammatory, for some people, it doesn't even touch the pain.
Yeah.
Which can be very worrisome. So it could drive them into those areas. And right now, that's just not an option for people.
Well, I think what's really important about what you said is that the pain that you feel can be very different. It can be scary. You don't know if it's going to get better. You just assume it's going to get worse. So of course, your mind is, I have to go to the ER. And right now, we also feel like we can't go to the ER. Right. So I think it's important to know that yes, the pain can get worse, but yes, it can get better.
Yeah.
And it can get better pretty quickly. But I would encourage that if you are experiencing that or someone you know, like, get in ASAP, because the sooner you get in to the chiropractor, the faster you're going to recover.
So definitely getting in, or calling or whatever. But yeah, because you're not necessarily being able to get in the hospital. And what I want to mention too, which I forgot, because yes, the pain can be like pretty bad, but sometimes when we have sort of like nerve pain, or depending if we really did maybe hurt one of the discs that sit between our vertebrae and our spine, those bones are like shock absorbers. Usually if an injury occurs there, then we have a lot of trouble moving. We have trouble getting in and out of bed. We have trouble getting in and out of our car. We have trouble like bending to put on our shoe,
lifting our pants, putting your bra on,
so
pulling
now
your pants up.
We take movement or our daily movements for so much for granted. We're like, oh, we can move really easily. When something like that happens, we automatically go to, oh crap, what is wrong? Is it going to get worse? Am I going to get paralyzed? Is it going to be like this forever? We kind of go down this rabbit hole.
Sure.
So again, showing up in the ER. And then, so if you even are going into the ER, they're going to give you kind of different options right now. What happens when you normally go to the ER for something like we see in our office?
Muscle relaxer, for sure. Sometimes steroids or steroid injections. Those are, I mean, usually the most common. And then maybe a referral to a physical therapist or something if need be, depending on what the injury type is. But usually the people that we get after they go to the ER, they took the muscle relaxers and they took the steroids, and either nothing happened, or they didn't like how they felt on them, or they couldn't take them because they still need to watch their kid or go to work and be functional, and they just couldn't on the medication.
So if you've never taken one of those before, I have, like way prior to being a chiropractor and knowing what I do now, I had really bad pain one time, and I went to the normal, that's how we didn't know any different for a while. I mean, it's just like kind of how we were raised. Like I went through these normal processes too before I knew I had other options that I chose that I want to do. But ended up with like a muscle relaxer, and I mean, I was like wiped and couldn't do anything or get off the couch the entire day. So, and that was like when I was in like my younger 20s and I didn't have kids. I don't think I had work that day. So if you have to do your job, or if you have kids or something like that, like you can't just check out, you know. And it's just letting the pain go away for a little bit. It's not actually fixing the problem. So that's a whole different discussion. But
it is a different discussion, because then we have people that do take those things, which is fine, because maybe they do feel better, and then because they are feeling better, the body hasn't fully healed yet because it's taken away the inflammation, the weakness and the problem is still there, because it takes a while to heal, and they do too much, or they jump back into normal routine, and then once those muscle relaxers were off, the pain comes back, because the problem is at that point becoming worse because you're using it and wear and tearing and all that stuff.
And I would like to touch on just for a moment, I would have to say, I think Florida, from my understanding, has done a much better job of cracking down on this a little bit, and not necessarily giving opioids as the first line of defense if a patient is showing up in like an urgent care or an ER for this type of pain. But it is a reality, and it's a reality that opioid epidemic is real, and it kills a lot of people, and it leads to a really nasty addiction. And it doesn't you don't have to be on the opioids for that long at all for that to be a potential case for you.
Sure.
So this gives you another option that is outside of that. If you some people literally just are aware of that. Some people have seen their family members or friends succumb to that, or maybe they work with people who've been through addiction and they want nothing to be nowhere near that thing, that type of stuff. So we still give you an option that is not related to that.
And the sad reality is, I bet if you polled the audience and different people that almost everyone at this point in 2020 probably knows someone that has been negatively affected by those things. And I mean, I know we know obviously a handful, and that's really, really sad. And if you can choose to take that stuff or whatever, I mean, that's your right, and we're not beating up on that, and there's a time and a place for that. But right now, with everything that's going on, it's not even as easy to go in and get these different relief things, because you can't really go in. So what else do we do?
Right. So we're here for you. That's our whole point. We are essential. And yes, there's a time and place for medication, but our whole goal, and we talk about this every single time we talk to you guys, is to empower you to make your own healthcare decision, which means you have to be comfortable asking questions to your providers and doing your own research, so at the end of the day you understand what that choice is for you. So we do give you a whole different perspective that is a different role and model than the mainstream medical model. And I know I will never stop doing that. I will continue to always fight for this model and show that to you guys, because there is a different way out there where you can actually take control of your health. You can make better choices and be in control, which puts you in a completely different place and a more powerful place to be making those choices outside of fear than more in a fearful model, thinking you have no influence over your health, which is not true whatsoever.
Right. So, I mean, even just part of these Twin Tuesdays is just providing some information to, even if it shifts your perspective, even like a quarter of a percent, that quarter of a percent could really improve the overall health of you and your body. And even if it's a little bit, and that can make a huge difference in your lifestyle and your livelihood. And you know, one thing I do want to say is that, yeah, we are essential, and we're seeing patients, and we're seeing you currently that already come in that are in pain and discomforts, but also new people. So if you do have someone that you know that is complaining of these things going on, they can still come in. It is totally okay. This is a safe place for them to actually go and get the help that they need, so they can start to feel better through this process. And that's
why we're here, and why we will continue to serve our community, because it's so needed right now.
Yeah.
So we do, just so everyone knows, we are doing everything that is recommended. We are pre-screening patients. We are scheduling out. If you've ever been to our awesome practice prior to this whole thing that happened, we're a huge family, and usually we're like moving and grooving in there. Yeah. You might be in there with some other people, but it's a great family atmosphere, and we really enjoy that, and we can't wait to get back to that one day. But right now we have spaced out the time between our patients. So most of the time there's like no more than 2 people in the office at one time.
And that's even rare. And we're trying to make it so you're the only one in there at that time.
Or you and your family. A family can come in together as well.
Yeah, so if you live in the same household, you don't have to be like blood related, but you know, your spouse and your partner and stuff can come in at the same time. That's totally acceptable. And you know that I would like to say that the healing process takes different time frames for everyone. So of course, because of that, it does require an evaluation and a consult to see what is going on. But we'll make sure that's scheduled and, you know, in an appropriate time. And like Dr. 𝐬𝐿 said, we're taking all the appropriate measures based on what we're told through the CDC, what our malpractice tells us, what our state board tells us, so we can be open and practicing to help you and to help make sure you guys are doing all right.
Yep. We also, just so you know, so we do say it, we do wipe down every single table between patients, and we do wash our hands between every single patient as well, which I think is just huge, and don't take that for granted, because we still know, based off of actually how the virus is transmitted, it's definitely like direct contact into essentially an orifice on your face. So washing your hands properly gets rid of the virus, and especially avoiding touching your face, which I'm sure a lot of us have been working on through this whole couple like month or so this has been going on.
What is your new skill in 2020? Not touching my face.
So we're doing all of that as well. We are here for you. We are here to continue to serve you. So if you are struggling with that, or if you're a current patient, because I think even some of our current patients don't realize that we are open. We are open. We are serving you. We are there. We completely are respecting anybody who's just not sure, so they're self-quarantining right now, or they're just choosing to stay home during this time. We are still there when everything's back up and running normally. For y'all to come back in, but we are going to continue to serve the people who need us to be there during this important time as well.
Well, and I do want to mention real quick, I think it goes without being said, but just in case it doesn't, because I know things are crazy right now, of course our jam is pregnancy, postpartum mamas, and their families, but we do see everybody in the office, meaning like we are, as chiropractors, we're really great at helping headaches, neck pain, back pain, sciatica, the aches and pains that go on with the body. I mean, chiropractic is great at that, hands down. So because of that, I just want to make sure it's clear that like you don't have to be pregnant, you don't have to be a mom, you don't have to be a woman to come into the office. You can be of any race and age and gender. We accept everybody.
Yeah, we do. So we'll continue here to serve you, and we're excited to see y'all this week and the upcoming weeks. And if there is anything you need help with that we haven't been touching on, or any of those things, then definitely let us know, because we're still here to serve you, still here to give you information and to help you manage this kind of crisis mode as best as possible. What I do recommend today is do something fun and rejuvenating, something where you can choose essentially joy and love over fear. And I think that's going to be a game changer for a lot of people. Again, remember, you're directly in control of your life and your decisions. So do your research, make your choices, enjoy life a little bit today. You're still alive, so
stay healthy, stay happy.
Bye.
We'll see you next week.